Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation. Um, it's taken a lot for us to get on here tonight, but this is all good. Learn a lot of things doing these shows. I really super have to thank our producer and show sponsor, John, with Area 52 Media Group. We had to do a bunch of finagling and getting things working. Actually, what happened is we got hit by lightning last week, my internet service, and it took our whole neighborhood out. And my computer. So we've had a lot to do to be able to get back on here. But all is good. So we're back. Need to also thank one of our other sponsors, a longtime friend and supporter, DeLynn Gaston with the mortgage firm. She's, seriously, I say this every single time, but it's absolutely true. Anybody that can get you through the mortgage process easily, she works really hard for her customers, and especially like if you haven't had a mortgage before, maybe you've got some some issues, she can help get everything all straightened out and just make it so much easier. Actually, she helped with my refinance after I lost Bobby. I wouldn't have known, anywhere what to do. But anyway, so DeLynn Gaston, the mortgage firm. So also, we're into August, and that just seems like super crazy. So Art for Hope is next month. We're working on that. September 12th out at the Hilton Garden Inn. It is free to attend. We'll have lots and lots of artwork. There's going to be light orders, cash bar. Our cookie sponsor is back. Leanne's Old Fashioned Cookies is our dessert sponsor. And our friend Rick Redmond will be our photographer again. He's been our photographer every year. And then we've got our major sponsors, of course. We have Area 52 Media Group, Rotary Club of the Nature Coast, and Precision Surveying. And you still have an opportunity to help us sponsor this event. Just contact us. Probably the quickest way, info@bobbywhitefoundation.org, and we can get you up there. So you can be here on the show and then also on all of our other social media. Plus, I do have 2 speaking engagements this month talking about the foundation and Art for Hope. So the first one is going to be August 8th at Community Service Council, which meets at 11:30, 12 o'clock at Seven Springs Golf and Country Club. And then towards the end of the month, I think it's August 27th, it's a Tuesday, the business networking lunch down in Tampa at the Center Club. I'll be speaking there also, and I'm really looking forward to both of those because haven't been doing too much of those outside speaking engagements since COVID hit, and that's when we started the show. So getting out into the community again a little bit more. So introducing all the programs that we have going, our support groups. We have people beginning to reach out. And, kind of like a little janky this morning because or today I reached out to the gal who facilitates one of the organizations that the foundation is part of, our SAFE program. It's our Pasco County Zero Suicide. I had some information to pass on to her, and then I needed some information from our last meeting because I wasn't able to make the last meeting. And it kind of threw me, which it usually always does, but this time it did a little bit more because we got the reports from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office for June. And in June of this year, we had 10 suicide deaths in Pasco County. All but one was 54 or older, and 3 were women. But when those numbers just keep going, more than 1 a week or 2 a week, it just gets me. It probably always will. And any of you out there that, and that's probably why you're even watching, is with that lived experience, it's just something that I think this will always be with us. But they're not always in a hard way. My producer found this really great video, and we're going to play that. It has to do with grief and handling grief, and that's one of the really super complicated things with a suicide death, is our grief and our grieving process, because it is so much different. And I think a lot of that comes from the not knowing why, the stigma that's still attached to suicide, and that is both on our part and on society. So if I've watched this video a couple times, so we'll see how it goes. But I do believe the way that this gentleman explains grief, at least in my process. It may be different for you, but then it may resonate with you also. So if we can play that video, then we can see what happens on the other side of it.
My friend told me something beautiful about grief that I don't think I'll ever forget. They said to me that grief is like a stone, and you carry it in your pocket, and you'll always notice it, you'll feel it, it's there. But as time goes on, you get stronger. And so as you get stronger, it's not that the stone goes away, it's just that it gets lighter.
Wow.
And so it's lighter to carry, but it doesn't mean it's going away. You didn't move on. You didn't have to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't disappear. It doesn't get smaller. It stays the same. You just get stronger, so the stone gets lighter.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that idea around grief, because it sat true with me that it didn't have to go away.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to let go of it. I didn't have to forget about it. And that it would always be there. But just as I grow and as I strengthen and as I become more resilient, it becomes lighter and doesn't weigh on me in the same way as the heavy feeling of grief can in the beginning.
It resonates with me so much. But with me too, remember, I'm a little over 8 years out from Bobby's death. So this probably wouldn't register as easily, say, if it was a year, even maybe 2 years, because my 3rd year was the worst. And that's when I started dealing with depression. But the work that I've been trying to do on myself, especially the last couple of years and really pretty intensely the last couple of months, because I can see some light out there, and I want to be part of that. I don't want to live in the darkness all the time, and the hurt and the pain, and learning how to deal with our grief is so important. And I've seen this gentleman on other podcasts, and I'll put his name in the comments, and the podcast that he's on, because I have watched him, and it's been part of. There's probably about 4 or 5 people that I've been listening to on YouTube lately that has to do with dealing with grief, but not so much per se exactly that, but mindfulness and things like that. It's just it's helped me a lot. As a matter of fact, I was trying to look for that, but And I wasn't gonna say anything until I actually did it, because sometimes I'll start stuff and then I kinda, eh, get off course. But I came across, this book, and it's called, The Miracle Morning, and I saw it on something, I can't remember what it was, and I ended up ordering it out. You can get it off Amazon, um, and it's a 30-day, challenge, and this kind of feeds into that, with the mindfulness stuff, and helping with, I mean, it has helped me a lot. I've noticed a difference for me when I, get up in the morning, early in the morning, and I do this. There's, 7, 5, 6, and you can do it in as little as an hour. I have this issue with my cats. They wake me up, like, sometimes before 5 o'clock, but literally between 5 and 5:30, they want breakfast. And since Bobby's been gone, I don't really, my thing is, I really don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning anymore. Why are you doing this? And only one of the cats that I have was here when Bobby was alive. So the other three have no reason to be doing this, but they do. So I was trying to figure out, how can I wake up that early in the morning and not be upset, and just, why do I have to get up this early? So I started doing this Miracle Mornings, and he recommends that, if you can get up like an hour earlier, so say 5 o'clock for me, even with them, and do these 6 practices. And it starts out with, and you can do it in as little as 6 minutes each, or, even less if you can do it that fast. I can't. I do the 10 minutes. You do 10 minutes of 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of affirmation, 10 minutes of visualization. See if I can get this right. It's called Savor. So visualization, 10 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of reading, and 10 minutes of scribing. And usually the exercise one I do a longer, because I also have this yoga book that I've had since I was in high school. And it's a 28-day yoga thing. And so I integrated that, and I did do it for the 30 days and the 28 days. And I found that those, and then the last week I haven't been like doing it exactly the way I should be doing it, and skipping a morning here or there. And I found that, for me, I feel better during the day, particularly even that early in the morning. It, I don't, it just makes me feel better. Um, and there's a lot of different ways that you can do it and how you can incorporate it into your life. So, things like that. I mean, like I said, working really hard, and it's hard work. You just you don't integrate this into your life without doing some work on yourself, because it is just too hard. I mean, I learned that, the first few years, and I believe that that's why, when it came into the second or third year, I struggled so much with depression. Um, this helps a lot, and the other things that I'm integrating into my life, and kind of learning with my, my mindset, and talking with other people, um, it really does help. And so that video, we'll have, I'm going to post that, also on the, foundation Facebook page, but we'll have that available so it's easy access for you to find. As I I really believe what he was saying. It might be different for you, and it's all going to depend. Sometimes it depends on where we're at in our grief process. Um, I tend to hope that I'm a little bit further down the road, but there's days that no, I'm not. I go right back to the beginning, and it may be that way for excuse me, for a long time, but hopefully not. But anyways, so we wanted to bring that to you guys. I thought it was really great. So anyways, we've got our support groups going again. We have, let me get them in order. The Spring Hill group meets the second Wednesday of the month at the NAMI office in Spring Hill. And the third Thursday is the West Pasco Newport Richie. And we meet at the Oasis coffee spot. And now we are working on, I think I mentioned last week, I had a meeting with the Dade City Police Department, updating them on their folders and talking to them about the support groups. And so we are going to move forward with getting one set up on the east side of the county. I spoke with my friend at Parks and Rec, and hopefully we're going to be partnering with Parks and Rec for space to hold a support group over on the east side of the county. And that one is tentatively going to begin October 1st. And so I think that one will end up being the first Tuesday of the month. Hopefully we can get some volunteers to help facilitate that one. I do have some people, a couple in mind. So we're going to work on that, but we're not going to get that one started, unfortunately, until after Art for Hope. A lot of things are coming along with that, and we may too, just as probably like a little bit of a spoiler alert for Art for Hope. It's not for sure yet, but I'm meeting with a local veteran who is also a watercolor artist and teacher. And so we may have him as a featured artist for Art for Hope, along with, the other art that we have. We've got tons of art. So anybody that's, in the Tampa Bay area, probably easiest, Citrus County, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, maybe even Polk. Polk might be a little bit of a ways, but it's really easy to get to at the Suncoast and 54. So it's going to be a good night. It's always positive. You wouldn't some people kind of think that it may not be, but it is. It's an uplifting event. So we want to do that. So we don't have any updates on our Safer Gun program. We meet with them on Monday. So we'll have some updates for the next show on that. It's going to be really good and interesting, and hopefully we can get some things going with them. When I was speaking with the Dade City Police Department, they're a small police department, and I was talking to them about the Safer Gun program, that we're working on, and they're such a small department that they don't really have the space to hold firearms voluntarily for citizens, and that's one of the issues with trying to make things safer for people. We will have lock boxes available here at the foundation, but one of the things is to, when somebody's in crisis, is to be able to, identify if they have firearms and how to keep them safe. And a voluntary giving up the guns voluntarily for a period of time while they're in crisis is a really big thing. But the private sector, the liability is scary, and that's what we're trying to overcome. Dade City, when they collect guns, the guns are collected to be destroyed, which is fine. But some people in crisis, that's not what they want. They need time and space, and to make sure that they're going to be safe and get their guns back. That's a lot of the issues with police departments, why people don't want to voluntarily surrender their firearms to the police department, is that's what they're afraid of. So hopefully we can work with the local gun shop owners and firing ranges to get something going here, like what happened in Louisiana. So that's a real big thing here, especially with the reports that I've been getting the last few months about the suicide deaths in our community. Is the majority of them are firearms, and this time it was even the women, and that is not statistically typical, but it was in June. So anyways, we got a lot of work to do, but we're doing it. And sometimes when I get these reports, sometimes it feels like we're just barely treading water, but then I get an email or a phone call for somebody that wants to that is interested in our support groups. You know, if we can't, stop the initial action, I guess that's not really the right word, but the initial incident, hopefully we can work towards stopping future incidences. That was the whole premise of starting the foundation and realizing that so many people affected by suicide, lost survivors, whether you're a family member, friend, coworker, you end up being at a much, much greater risk for suicide than the general public. And if we can, if we can help stop that, save one person's life, all this is worth it. But it sometimes it can be a lot, but we work on it, and we work on it together, and we support each other, and we support the community, and that's what we do. And with the government doing their national strategy for suicide prevention, helping get some guidelines out there. A lot of organizations don't work together, and that's that's one thing that we have really stressed with the Bobby White Foundation, and that's why we're involved with we're partners with Zero Partners of Suicide for Pinellas County, Zero Partners of Suicide for Hillsborough County, our Pasco County SAFE program, our Safer Gun program. We all got to work together, and we're bringing in with me getting the updates with the local police departments, because their reporting is different than our sheriff's department, and it may is probably the same maybe in different states or different areas. So we're working on bringing to the table our local municipalities, their police departments. They're much smaller. They do not handle the majority of the suicides, of course, because of their size, but Pasco County does handle the majority, but the reporting isn't all together. So we're not getting a complete picture of really what is happening in our county. So we're working on that now. I just sent some information to the gal who facilitates our SAFE program here in Pasco, and adding some more of our local law enforcement, bringing them to the table, which I think will be good too with the SAFE program. Pasco County is involved in that, and so it's good. It's a lot, but it's good. So I was gonna do something with the national strategy, but I think I'm gonna save that for next week, and we're gonna have some more information about that. And I'm I'm getting talked to in my ear. So, anyways, so we're getting close to the end of the show, and when going through these things, I've found actually integrating into part of the affirmations part of this, which really helps. It kind of it gets you kind of, I'm saying out of your head, but it's not really, but it's really in your head, into the moment, and not trying to think so much of what is going on all around. And so I found, being part Indian, like a lot of different parts, I found this really neat, for our quote. Instead of a quote, it's a Navajo prayer. And I found that saying this in the mornings when I do my affirmations, very helpful. It is, in beauty I walk, with beauty before me I walk, with beauty behind me I walk, with beauty above me I walk, with beauty around me I walk. It has become beauty again. And sometimes we just have to keep saying things like this, because we can come through and integrate this into our lives. And I can, fortunately for me, I can start to see that again. And I've been doing this show for almost 3.5 years. It was a struggle in the beginning, but we're doing it, and we're growing and coming out on the other side. So please remember to put these phone numbers in your phone, have them available. Remember, the easiest one to remember is 988. That's the National Suicide Prevention Line. But have these available for people. I've had people reach out on Facebook, and we're giving these numbers out. But if somebody is in immediate danger, get them to the ER. But please always remember, there is always hope.